Hello. Now that you've seen the Start Here folder, you've registered for My Stat Lab, and you've introduced yourself to the class. You're now asking yourself, is that it for the week? And the answer is no. Technically, this is the first week, a shortened week, but still the first week. So if you go back to course content, you'll now want to proceed to the meat of the course. Many of these weeks are going to be very similar in structure, so let's look at week one. Week one starts with a discussion board, question, comments, or requests. And this is just an overall catch-all discussion board where if you have any questions related to the course or comments to make, or you have a request for a video, maybe you want a video that demonstrates how to do a certain homework problem. This is where you would post those requests or comments or questions is within this discussion board. I'll be monitoring it. You should subscribe to it because if a classmate poses a question that you know the answer to and you answer it, I'll be watching this and potentially awarding extra credit points as I see fit. After that discussion board is another link to online office hours. Now, the first week we start on a Thursday. My normal office hours are Monday and Wednesday. Therefore, for the first week, no online office hours available. But starting in week 2, there will be office hours. And if you click on this link, this will take you to WizIQ, where I've scheduled all the virtual online office hours, where if you cannot make it to my actual physical office to see me face to face, you can always access these online office hours. And you want to find the date that the date and time that the office hours are being offered and enter the class at that time. And at that point, I can chat with you over voice over IP. I can share my desktop. I can use a whiteboard within the desktop to demonstrate, concepts that you might be asking. I can text chat with you all within WizIQ. So that's how you would do that. Now I got to go back over here to the class again. What else is in week one? Well, beyond that now, there's another video giving you a little My Stat Lab tour. And then the meat. Notice this is an assignment for section 1.1. There's a due date and time and instructions. You can click on this and open up the assignment, and really what you're going to see is the same stuff. The only thing that's different is at this point you can save and or submit and say I'm done, but really you don't need to submit these My Math Lab or My Stat Lab assignments because all the scores will be recorded in My Stat Lab, and then what I do is I input them into the gradebook. So there's no reason to submit any of these in Blackboard. Now, so that was just a reading assignment, a review and a preview. What follows next is a section video lecture, which is sort of like a classroom lecture. They're relatively modest and length, 19 minutes, 13 minutes. That's really the most you'll ever see for any videos for a single section. Usually there's just a single video, at most 10 minutes long. So here's some section video lectures. And then section 1.2. Read section 1.2 and then do the homework in My Stat Lab. And here's the link. These problems are due by Sunday, August 25th. And then also note there is a quiz due at the end of week 1. And this is also due by the end of the day on Sunday, August 25th. All the due dates for the My Stat Lab and quizzes, as well as exams, are all in your course calendar. But there are some other things you need to be aware of. In week 2, for example, not only do you have My Stat Lab homework, as well as a quiz, but you also have another homework problem that's not in My Stat Lab. This is a blog entry that I'm going to ask you to create using one of the animations from your textbook, from your electronic textbook. Notice this is a graded blog entry worth 10 points. All blog entries must be completed by 11:59 on Sunday, in this case, September 1st, the day before the holidays. So there you go. So in this case, this is a graded homework problem that's outside of my stat lab, just entirely within Blackboard. So be on the lookout for that. What I'm going to be doing with each announcement, I'll be sending out an announcement at a minimum of once a week, reminding you of the things that are due. So for week 1, here are the things that you need to be working on, which is, do the start here content folder items, and then in week 1, make sure you're reading section 1.1, reading section 1.2, completing the homework in My Stat Lab, and then you're also completing quiz 1. And then I'll be doing the same thing for every subsequent week.